Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about my 2001 GMC Sierra, which is right behind me. As you can see, it has 400,000 miles. So I just wanted to give a 400,000 mile overview. Not all the miles were put on by me. I purchased it at 355,000. So I've owned it for 45,000 and some change now, and it's been great to me. But I just wanted to talk about what I've done, what I've had to do, and what you can expect from a high mileage truck. Alright, so the exterior is one of two things. Was it a work truck? And if it was not a work truck, if it was a work truck, there is a, depending on what kind of work it was, it might be kind of beat up. This was a fleet truck for the first 200K of its life, and after that's been private owners. Clearly, since I haven't really done anything with the body, whoever's had this before me, they've all not abused it that much because the body's been good. When I did buy it, that can be faulted was there's a couple dents, you know, smacked in here, and what I did, I just replaced the whole door with another one off of a Yukon, which is at the right angle. It's just a hair off in the color department, but it's close enough that I mean, it doesn't bother me for right now. And the bed, if you look at the bed, I've got a couple things in here right now, but someone took a wire wheel or something and tried to scrape off half the bed liner, so I'm kind of bummed they did that because it would have looked a lot better. However, it's not rusty. The front's just fine, definitely a usable bed. And the tailgate, I just debadged the whole truck so the tailgate's clean. I did have, for whatever reason, these trim pieces right here always seem to be missing on this era truck, and I bought a new one, popped it in. It took like 10 seconds to pop the new one in, so I'm not sure why people don't just buy a new one of these. It looks a lot better with it on than with it off. Tailgate works just fine. Still has the factory hitch. I believe if you're up there in the north areas, you might have already replaced yours. Those have a reputation for not being the strongest, the factory ones, when you're loading it near the max. I did have to convert to a combination 7 and 4 since my trailer that I had when I first bought this truck was 4-pin, and this truck factory does not have a 4-pin connector. It has only a 7-pin. I put the wheels and tires on. This is currently the stock lift height. Rear's where it came factory, front's where it came factory. Tires are hair oversized. I had to trim some space to get them to turn. Headlights are aftermarket. However, I really like these LED things. However, these are clearly not very high quality, as only about a year, 45,000 miles later, they're pretty faded already. And when I bought the truck, this was already changed from red to the gray already. But I mean, overall, here's the roof. It's a little dirty, but it's not peeling too bad yet. So alright, let's go under the hood. This is what you can expect to see. It really depends on the area. If you're in the southern area like me, there shouldn't be a whole lot of rust. Now my truck is, except for the filter itself, which is a K&N, 100% stock under this hood. I haven't changed nothing. I even still have my, don't even have a lift pump yet. And I'm not sure if I'm going to add one because it runs so good and clearly works for a long time. So what I've done, I put on, so when I bought it, I've done injectors, CP3, alternator, batteries, the belt. I have noticed this Tensioner is not the best, as the truck kind of rattles or like wobbles, and the belt's not straight. And even after I put on the new one, it did the same thing, so that's kind of weird. I'm not sure if everyone else is doing that on the 01s. I know they changed the tensioner in 02 to something a little bit different. But under the hood is generally stock, and I can't really complain about anything that's going on here. What has worn out is these power steering hoses leak bad, and you just replace them. Unless you have a good aftermarket unit, they're going to just leak again like they did on mine. When I replaced mine 50,000 miles later, there I've already got a coating of stuff on the outside, of oil on the outside. I don't know if you can see that, but right, my boost tube, the aluminum piece, you can see the silver down there, but I did wrap it. I don't know how well you can see that. I did wrap it in heat shrink on this one side, because there is a lot of people who, there's many people who have found that when their boost tube, if you can see right here, when it hits the bolt of the frame or something like that, it burns a hole in the aluminum. And so I put that on there. Mine had a hole on it when I bought it too. So I had a shop re-weld it, and then I put the wrap on it in hopes that it won't come back. And so far we've been okay. So obviously at 400,000. Oh, another thing I did when I bought the truck, I had to do the carrier bearing on the drive shaft. These trucks came with a 2-piece or a 1-piece drive shaft. You really want the 1-piece, or you want to convert to a 1-piece if you plan to keep a truck a while. For the carrier bearing, I replaced it when I got it, and it's already going bad. You know, already has play in the shaft. Again, if I can take it, go under there and wiggle it side to side. Obviously not as bad as it was when whoever had the truck before me. I don't know how long it took him to get that bad. His bearing is as bad as it was when I got it, but in 50,000 miles, it's not as bad as it was when I bought it yet. So maybe he drove it 100, 150K on one bearing. I need to replace mine soon, but apparently, since mine's 2-wheel drive, it's harder to find the correct. Something about the transmission tail shaft doesn't allow for the 1-piece. So I read real briefly. Haven't looked much into it, but that's what I thought I heard. So if anyone hears this and has a link or a place who can build me a 1-piece, put that in the description. I'm in Georgia, near Atlanta, so just keep that in mind. I'm not driving to Nebraska to get a 1-piece drive shaft. All right, so we've done the outside. We've done the bed. We've done what I've replaced. We need to do the inside next. Just like the body, if your truck has been a work truck for 300, 400, 500,000 miles for the high mileage stuff, it's either in really good shape or really bad shape. And mine, as the body, you can kind of gauge it based on the body. If the body looks good, the interior is probably going to be decent too, and that is true in my truck. So I'll show you how it looks. All right, here's the driver's door panel, all manual, but no major marks or gashes or anything. Clearly, passengers haven't been over here much in 400,000 miles. Seat is mint, or close to mint, maybe a couple little smudges, but the vinyl floor, and I got the flip up. I did replace this top piece because that was the armrest right here was the original cloth when I got it, and it was wore real bad right here, so I did replace this, but the floor is still original. Look at the dash. The dash is pretty clean. A couple holes that were drilled here and here for, I guess, you know, whatever he had in his truck at one point. I got some paint fade on this part, although that might actually be replaceable if I can find this whole piece, if I ever really wanted to change it, but I'm not going to. So let's go to the driver's side, because y'all probably think 400,000 miles, driver's seat looks trash. Alright, driver's side door handle. This is wore so smooth. Like, the rest of this has bumps and a ridge on it. I don't know how else to say that, but this is perfectly smooth. Like, it's shiny. It's actually kind of wet, hard to grip when it's wet. But this is wore out super smooth. Driver's seat, still the original cover. What I've done is I did replace the foam underneath it. In a previous video earlier on the channel, I did take off the seat and I did replace the foam, because the foam was super wore out. Like, I was leaning to the left majorly, and now I'm not, so that's good. But still, I reused the original cover because the only ones you can buy on the internet are leather, and I didn't want to convert everything to leather because that's a lot of money. So I reused my original cover, and it's still in pretty good shape. It's got a couple little things here, and then it's got one a little bit smaller than a dime right there, and this flips up and down just fine. I'm not going to because I got some stuff on top of it right now. I do have a brake controller that I put on with the factory, not the factory, an aftermarket harness that just plugs into the block back there. But so really, I mean, inside and outside, 400K, you wouldn't think. So am I scared when I buy a high mileage truck? Is it going to deter me? It's going to deter me from paying a high price for one. But would I buy another 400K truck from someone else now that I know how it can be if taken care of? Sure, I would. Actually, my next truck after this might be a Cummins. I'm looking for probably a 3rd gen. Same thing. I want like a work truck, just highway miles. That's probably what I'll find next, to be honest. But I'll show you what this is like and how well it runs. Look at this. 400, 276. Alright, look at that oil pressure. Motor's still pretty cold. And here's the exhaust. Sounds healthy, don't it? This truck has been arguably the most reliable vehicle I've ever owned in 10 years of vehicle ownership. So look at that. Hardly anything. This motor's got a lot of life left. A lot of life. As long as I change the oil and filters, should be good for a long time. So, alright, thanks for watching, guys. I just wanted to make a video. I know a lot of people just are like, oh, it's got too many miles, I don't want to deal with it, it's just not worth it, it's got nothing left in it, in the tank. I don't know, if someone bought my truck right now, it's going to last a little while for sure. So, and still look nice doing it. But, so, don't count off the high mileage trucks right away. Definitely check them out first. Of course, some of them are going to be junk, but other ones, such as mine, are going to be a decent vehicle still. So that can be, according to my specs, still tow 12,000 pounds, and I get about 18-19 miles per gallon. So definitely a very usable 3/4 ton work truck. Obviously not a family truck as being a single cab, but if I had a crew cab, same thing. High mileage stuff, the miles don't matter, the maintenance and the owner matter. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more.